And I'm like, I'd been to the parties, I'd tried the drugs, I'd did the alcohol, I got addicted to sex. And my family life was perfect, but I never really received Christ in my life, because at my house, my mom, my dad, my brother, anyone who I tried to get around, they was living that same sin life that I used to live. So I didn't want to be that one who didn't stand out. So I was in trying to fit in with the guys around me. I didn't want to call me a scrub, say, hey, you lame. You know, I was originally born in Foley, Alabama. I had 2 brothers, 1 sister. We ended up in Lotsley, Alabama. My mom didn't have as much money. Lived in a 1-bedroom trailer with 4 of us. You would think that we had a lot of money, but well, I was thinking as a young kid that we had a lot of money, because my mom really made it work. She got married when I was about 8 years old, and around 8 years old she got married to my stepdad. My dad was never around in my life till I turned probably around 16, 17 years old. After probably about 9 or 10 years old, I ended up in Fairhope, Alabama, where I was born and raised, after Foley. And we went on through this process of middle school, and I was actually still trying to fit in with the other guys around me. And Christ never was like in my life fully, although my family was in my life. Christ was never in my life fully that I really received Christ. It wasn't until after college and my testimony, which we're going to get to that later, of me really receiving Christ and hearing from God. So I had sex probably around 15, 16 years old, up in high school, up in the bathroom. A girl told me, hey, Terence, come here, man, come here. So you look really nice and stuff. And I went to the restaurant with her. She just started taking off her clothes. And I really didn't want to do it, but I was like, hey, if I don't do this, my friends and stuff, she'll tell them, and I'll be a scrub. Like I said, I didn't want to be. I'll be lame, or I get joked on. I really care what other people thought about me. And so we had sex, we did the thing, and I loved it. And when I loved it, I wanted more of it. So I kind of promised of it. Sex became my God. And since I wanted more of that, I promised myself, hey, I would not go a week without having sex. Now the message that was misunderstood, that I got rid of that and promised that, hey, I wanted sex to be my God. It led on to my 12th grade year. I met this girl up in the hallway. My friend said, hey, she my girlfriend, and he didn't want me to date her or touch her or nothing like that. But I told him, hey, I want your girl. Well, I did like I said I was gonna do. I focused in on getting her, and everything moved on like a movie scene. Everything was just playing right in my part. Around summertime, they started getting an argument right in the middle of the school year. And once the beginning of summer hit, they broke up. I ended up over her house. I was texting her as a friend. At first, I went over to her house and, hey, I'm forgetting this girl. At first, she was like, hey, I don't want to have sex. We only can kiss for a certain amount of time. We only can do this for a certain amount of time. I was respecting her because I was giving her what she want, telling her what she want to hear. But in the back of my head, I was like, sooner or later, I'm going to get her. It happened. I got her. And we started talking, we started having sex constantly every single day. When I call in to work saying, hey, I don't feel good, or I call my brother and say, hey, can you go in for me because I knew I was going to have sex, or something like that. That's how it all went down for me. At that time, I say it was the farthest to me, it was the farthest I ever been away from Christ. But it caused me to be the closest to Him. And around the end of summertime, I was getting ready to go to Jeff Davis Community College. On my way to Jeff Davis Community College, I was up there for about 2 weeks, and she called. She was like, "Hey, Terence, is there a lot of girls up there?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a lot." And she asked me, was I in love with her? Do I still love her? Would I ever cheat on her? I ain't gonna lie, I was looking at other girls, I was thinking about it, but I told her, "Hey, I love you so much that I won't cheat on you." I did cheat on her one time, I can't lie, I did. One time I cheated on her. But when I came back, her parents was up in a relationship, and she came up and she said, "Well, just thinking about it, Terence is cheating itself." And in my head, I disagreed. But on the way back to college, that day I had got a text message saying, "Hey, Terence, I'm pregnant." My heart just fell down, and she took me through a long roller coaster saying she's pregnant. And I come home every weekend, try to give her what she want, when she wanted. If she needed anything, go to the doctor, anything, I was there. But I never talked to a doctor. I was still young. I was still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Your mind, when a girl tells you, say, "Hey, I'm pregnant," your mind changes. Your whole train of thought changes because you're saying, "Hey, I messed up." As a normal boy, you know, I didn't run because I feel like, hey, I fell down. I did this myself. I'm gonna take a man position, try to help her out. We ended up going to Fort Walton Beach, and because she would take to a roller coaster saying, "Hey, I don't feel like a guy should have or say so in what my body is going through, so I want to have an abortion with your child." My heart fell again. My friend Deontay, he helped me up the whole time, and he grabbed my hand. He was like, "Hey man, don't go down there this weekend. You know, you're in college, you're throwing stuff around, you're skipping class because you're sick, and still, you know, you're crying every day." So we ended up going to Fort Walton Beach, where I called her my second mom, and she helped me out. But it's funny how God really put her in my life, because when we was up there, it was me, him, and her little son named Gary, and we was all sitting around the table. She said she was sleepy, so she went to bed, and God really moved her and sent her a vision there while she was asleep. God sent her a vision and said, basically painted a picture out of us having sex and saying, "Hey, he got her pregnant." And she came back up in the living room. What she told me is, she said, as soon as she came in the living room, she looked at me sitting in the corner while we sitting around the table, me, Gary, and Deontay, and she said, she looked at me and said, "Yes, it was true." So she came, sat by me, and she whispered in my ear, and she said, "Terence, did you get this girl pregnant?" I was like, "Yes, I did." As much as I want to lie, I just told her the truth because my heart was already still thinking about what I want to do. I still love this girl. I don't want to leave this girl. I'd do anything to get back with her. So after that, Angel hugged my neck, and she said, "You didn't mess up, Terence." She said, "Go do what you do. You're trying to do the right thing." So me and my friend D got in the car, went back to Fairhope, Alabama. At that time when I get down there, I was getting ready to move. And when I came, I told my friend D to pull up in the yard. Her mom was sitting out on the porch, and she got up to walk in, and she seen me get out the car. And I was like, man, I need to do anything to see this girl. So I was walking up, and the girl opened the door and looked out the door and slammed it back shut and locked the door. And next thing you know, I'm knocking on the door, and she says, "If you don't leave, I'm gonna call the cops." I have no other choice to leave. I got back in the car, and I just started breaking out crying. And my friend D said, you don't need to deal with this, Terence, it's too much." So we left, went and got something to drink, and I just told him just drop me off at my house. She lived right down the road, so I ended up walking to her house the next morning. By that day and the next morning, they moved. My stereo gone, everything was gone. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, no more her, you know, years, you got a guy who didn't really think about God sitting there. Now I'm questioning God at this point. God, what you do? Why you take it away from me? What did I do to hurt you? And I just felt him put his arms over me and said, everything's gonna be okay. So I'm crying on the steps, sitting down, questioning God. And he said, it felt like everything she did, everything people did to me was just lifted off me.
No love, no peace, no grace.
And I began to laugh. And
no emotion shows.
It wasn't nothing. No one could tell me anything, text me anything at that point, because everything, God really restored my heart. And what He is joy. And I was feeling joy. You know? So we ended up back in college. The next day from college, I was trying to figure out, hey, what happened at that point? I was questioning God and He helped me out. So now I'm thinking, hey, God on my back. So at that point, the seed had been planted. I'm a Christian now. And I began to take that dusty Bible that I had in my book bag, and I opened it up, and the first verse I read was Ephesians 3:7. It says, I became a servant using the gift of God, grace upon me. So I started reading the book, but I didn't really understand it. So I didn't sleep for 4 days. And I was tossing and turning, hot in bed. And I was like, okay, I began to pray. That's my second prayer I ever prayed with a meaning. And I began to pray. And after I prayed, I actually fell asleep the whole day the next day and woke up. And I read the Bible and I understood. And that would lead me to where I am today. So I asked God, hey, what you want me to be? I said, I'm a servant of God. That's how He really put in my heart that you're a servant. That's the first verse you read when I gave you my Bible, was the servant. And your gift is to show people what I showed you. Show people what I gave you. You know, you wake you up every morning. That's my gift. This your boy Terence Milton. And it's 100% servant your speech, real talk. And I encourage you to live them out.
Please understand it. Lord, help us walk in love and live life as you play.
Beat you, mock you, curse you, but you still walk in love. I wanna walk in love, walk in love, walk in love, like you know. Walk in love, walk in love, walk in love.